Please forgive the lateness of this video. I also meant to have a river test done by the end of the month when I went to tub test the habitat just to make sure it didn't have any leaks before I drove all the way out to the river. It failed, water entered, and I discovered that the place where the power cable for the heating pad enters through the habitat shell did not have any silicone sealant on it whatsoever. I'd just forgotten. I'm glad I didn't drive out there and waste all my time only to find that out at the river. But it did mean that I couldn't have that done in time for this month. Instead, what I chose to do was to refurbish Ham Bunker, get it up and running, get all the cameras working, get it cleaned out, get it resupplied with food, water, new fluff, and then get Dick the hamster back underground where he belongs. This is the new layout, not the old one. It looks identical because I had to painstakingly recreate it. When I logged into Streamlabs OBS after, I think, over a year of not using it for Ham Bunker, the layout was gone. I had to re-download the layout and then rebuild the window frames and the offline backgrounds for each of the panels and whatnot. That's the bad news. The good news is I found what seems to be a working solution for the problem of my computer not being able to supply enough power via USB for all 4 cameras. It can supply power to 2 cameras, and then the other 2 are going to be plugged in through a powered USB hub, which can only support one camera at a time. So each of the 2 other cameras has its own hub. That's why there's only 3. I bought one as an experiment to see if it worked before I bought the 4th one, which is in the mail now. This is going to be a very convoluted setup. I considered simpler, more elegant solutions like power over Ethernet. The cameras designed for those systems are all way too big to fit inside the enclosures, though. This works. As long as it works, I'm happy with it. By tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I should have the 4th hub and all 4 cameras will be online, and then I can start streaming Ham Bunker again. I'll put food in the dish over here. It's already full of water. Dick will go back into Ham Bunker. The heater's turned off because it's summer. I've got the pump sending fresh air down to the lowest level. Everything is back up, spick and span. I cleaned everything out. That's fresh fluff in there. I'm excited to finally get this back up and running after all this time. If it was really this easy, then I got to kick myself for not doing it sooner. Although easy is a relative word, I didn't actually anticipate it would be this fucking hard to solve because it never needed powered hubs before. I don't know what changed. Maybe capacitors on my motherboard going bad on the USB section or something. I shouldn't pretend I know what I'm talking about. That part stopped working. I managed to fix it. Dick has been above ground far too long. He's a dwarf at heart. He will soon be back in his subterranean kingdom where he belongs. Whew, okay. It's in the ground. There's food. There's water. Everything's cleaned up. Everything's ready to go. The camera angles aren't exactly how I want them to be, but they never will be. They always get moved around a little bit by the hamsters, so I'm just going to make my peace with how it is now. This is a day later, by the way. I finally received the 2nd powered USB hub. Farewell, Dick. You've had a nice vacation on the surface world. It's back to the underground with you. Here we are, about to put Dick back in his subterranean fortress. It's back to the mines with you, friend. It's filthy on the outside, as you should expect, because it's always exposed to elements, but it's clean on the inside. Open it up to wipe it down periodically, vacuum out all the fluff and whatnot that gets brought up here. So he has quite nice digs to move into. As of this development, Hampshire is at last, once again, both a subaquatic and subterranean habitation project. I don't know if I said that. I have a shitty memory. You know you want to. Go on. Are you not tantalized by the mystery hole? Does it bring back any memories? I'm not going to sit here and wait for him to go down it. That would make a great shot, though. Come on. Here you go. There, yes. Fuck yes. Choose the impossible. Maybe not right now. In a bit, though. We found the food. And cute little munchkin. Little chicken nugget. Yes! Yeah. Oh, nope. There's not a blockage, is there? Hang on. No, there's nothing in the way. He's just apprehensive. That's fine. He'll do it in his own time. You tease. You fucking tease. That. Yes! Yes! He's doing it. So in order, upper left is surface building. Upper right is sublevel 1. Lower left is sublevel 2. Lower right is sublevel 3, the deepest. Cat, in a bit. Well, this is the lad who couldn't figure out how to use the perfectly vertical tubes. He couldn't figure out how to poke his nose up into them and climb them, so I had to make the curved ones. This ought to be nostalgic for him. Anybody worried about airflow? Don't be. I have an aquarium pump running 24/7, pushing air down to the lowest level, circulating it up through the top building. So I thought of that. It's not strictly necessary. It is a nice to have, though. Oh, I should go straighten out that water bottle at some point. Cat, don't shred my chair. You little goblin. Oh, he loves it. And the hut gives him a place that's medium warmth, because the middle floor, which one is that? That's the one with the couch, is heated in the winter. So he can go below it to be cooler. He can go entirely above ground to be even cooler than that. He can go into the hamster hut on sublevel 1 to... Like, he can self-regulate his own temperature, which is important. Animals need to be able to self-regulate because they can't tell you what they want. I'm so happy to see this working again. It was offline for way too long. I need to learn from this and streamline the process of maintenance and getting things back online. I can't allow outages. Let's see if we go down. Go down there. It's not where the tunnel is. Grumpy little old man. He is an old man by now. How long have I had him? I forget. I want to say he came after, I think, George and Scott, didn't he? That's coming up on 2 years at least. That's not a big deal. If he does pass away while he's in there, I can get him out. I've designed it so it slots into the hole. I don't shovel dirt on top of it anymore because it needs maintenance frequently enough. I just have a really neatly cut channel in the earth that it drops into. Then I put a sort of lid on that and then dirt on top of that. Oh, he loves it. Ah, he's remembering all of his old favorite places. Give him some chews, some fresh chews to gnaw on. Give him... That's new fluff. That's Carefresh Ultra. Tropical watermelon or something? I think that's just referring to the colors. I don't think it smells like anything. Hamsters would probably try to eat that. I'm going to cut to later when he explores the lower levels. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go down. Go down. Go down. Oh, is there fluff in the way? Good. This cute little butt. He's found it. There shouldn't be anything in there. It's nice and cool down there underground too. It's a constant something like 56 degrees. The lighting is actually red. There's red projector transparency cutouts over the lighting fixtures, but these webcams are fairly nice. They're nicer than they needed to be. And they color correct. They're also 1080p, which was a waste of money. I only realized late into this project I could have just bought 720p cams because the overall feed is 1080p. So each one of those windows is only like 800 by 480 pixels. Oh well, I can always reuse them elsewhere if I decide to put some money into buying some cheaper 720p webcams. I don't know what I could do with 1080p ones where I'd actually benefit from that kind of resolution, but... Well, I waited several hours. He has not discovered the lower 2 floors yet. This is possibly the dumbest hamster ever born. Remember, he's the same one who had to be rescued from this shelter back when it used vertical climbing tubes because he couldn't figure out how to use them. This has been a really frustrating experience. I have to do everything trial and error, but I feel like if something goes wrong in the future, I'll be able to fix it faster, and we'll never have a period of Hambunker being offline as long as this one has been ever again. I had to buy a bunch of crap from Amazon and send them back one at a time when it didn't work. Add on USB controller cards, shorter USB umbilicals, this, that, and the other thing. Finally found something that works. It's really stupid, but, you know, I can't complain. It's nice to have Hambunker back. This was a neat project, and it was a shame to see it go. I hope more people tune in to enjoy it. I don't get a lot of viewership of this or Hampshire lately. Makes me wonder why I use the bandwidth to broadcast this when almost nobody watches it. But for the few of you who do tune in and use this as a wallpaper or something, I'll continue. You know, I'll keep at it. And the lessons I learned from Hambunker may be applicable to future projects, such as Kitty City, a collection of skyscrapers I would like to build for cats out of shelving units and coroplast. But that's a future project for a future video. Finally! Finally! Get on the wheel. Get on the wheel. You were doing it a second ago. He really does not cooperate with filming. Don't mind the tiny little flies. They don't last long in there. And it's outdoors and it has air holes. So anything small enough to get in through the air holes is going to... Yes. Almost. Almost. No, don't flip it. There's a hole in the back if you want to climb under it. Don't flip it over. I learned really early on that they really want to know what's underneath that wheelbase. So I just used a hole saw to cut a hole in the back of every one, so they specifically so they don't flip it and so that they can make use of that space as a shelter if they want to. Come on, you hairy little goblin. Yes, yes, yes! Ha ha ha, yes! I didn't get any footage of him on sub-level 2, but I feel like this is good enough to cap off the video with. I'm not going to play it because I don't want a copyright strike, but the official theme song of Hambunker and Dick the Hamster is Diggy Diggy Hole by Wind Rose, I've decided. That's all for this time. Stay tuned for the next video, and keep on choosing the impossible.